This is one of the questions from the ACT percent benchmark. This one is the question that asks, if 40% of a given number is 8, then what is 15% of the given number? So to do this one, let's first figure out what the question is asking and then visualize it, and then we can do math. So the first part of the question says 40% of a given number is 8. I see the word given number, but it doesn't tell us what that number is. So we know 40% of some number is 8. If we don't know a number, we're going to call it x. And in this case, 40% is 8. So if we were to visualize this, we could say, let's draw a little picture here. So let's say this is some amount. We don't know how much that is, but let's call it x. We also know that 40% of it, which is a little less than half, so somewhere around here, a little less than half, is 8. So we know that this much of the number is 8, meaning that if we doubled this, 8 plus 8 would be 16. So it has to be something a little bit bigger than 16, since 40% of it, which is a little less than half, is 8. So we know we're aiming for somewhere a little more than 16. For the second part of the question says, then what is 15% of the given number? We don't know the given number yet, so let's try to find that before we do the second part of the question. So we'll come over here, and just like we would set up a normal percent problem, we're going to convert our percent to a decimal. I know that's 0.40, and then I'm going to multiply that by whatever I'm trying to find 40% of. In this case, we said that it's given number. We don't know what that is, but we said we're going to use x. So we'll do 0.40 times x equals, and it tells us it is 8. So we can come over here and say 8. So now we can just solve this with algebra. So I have 0.40 being multiplied by x. I can undo that by dividing by 0.40 on both sides. This we know cancels out because we are multiplying and then we are dividing, so it undoes it. And we are just left with x. So we can carry down that x, and we can say x is 8 divided by 0.40. On your calculator, go ahead and type that in. I'll type it in on mine. 8 divided by 0.40. And I get 20. Now, if you had done it the opposite way, if you accidentally typed in this number first, 0.40 divided by 8, you would get something completely different. So make sure you do it in the correct order. Type in the 8 and then divide it by 0.40. So I get 20 here. That's not the answer to my question though, because if we come back here, I'm going to erase all this stuff so that we can see it a little bit better. If we come back here, we see it's asking what is 15% of the given number. We've already figured out what the given number is. We said the given number is 20. So now all we need to do is convert our 15%, multiply by 20, and we've got our answer. So let's set up one more problem. 15% as a decimal is going to be 0.15. I'm going to multiply that times my given number. We said my given number right here is 20. And on my calculator, I'm going to try to figure out what that is. So I'm going to type in 0.15 times 20, and it gives me 3. So let's see if we've answered the question. It says if 40% of a given number is 8, then what is 15% of the given number? We got 3. Let's take a look at the original drawing that we made over here and see if that makes sense. We originally made a prediction that our x value right here had to be greater than 16 because it had to be more than twice our 8 right here. Our x value we said was 20. That makes sense logically. Then if we come over here, it says 15%. We know 15% is much smaller than 40%. It's less than half of 40%. If we're talking about 8 being 40%, this definitely would be less than half. So correct answer choice would be C. Now what you're going to do is you're going to try the question that you see on this screen. If 75% of a given number is 186, then what is 25% of the same number? So before you do this one, make sure you kind of visualize it, draw a picture, estimate, make some predictions, and then check it out. At this point, go ahead and pause the video, and then once you're done solving it, I will put the answer up on the screen. So pause the video and you can go ahead and start. All right, correct answer for this question is C, 62. So make sure that you've checked your work. If you did not get 62, go back and rewatch the first part of this video to make sure you totally understand how to do it, and then try it again.